Oh, Saturn and Libra. God, in some ways, I identify more with this energy than my natal Saturn. My Saturn is in the house of Libra, and I find that the energies of Saturn being in Libra and Saturn in the house of Libra are very much the same in so many ways. And damn, this is one hell of a placement. Saturn is said astrologically to do very well here. It's exalted. So basically, what that means is what Saturn has to offer you in your life. If you have Saturn in Libra, is very much in tune. It flows really nicely in your life, and it you're very much in tune with what Saturn has to offer, and so you can reach the highest gifts of it. And again, I always have to say, it's not like any placement is better than other placements, but certain astrological energies do just function easier. It's just easier to deal with than others, and this is one of those placements. But that makes the challenges of this placement no less hard. And it also, every energy has its gift to offer. I've said this so many times, but it's important to say every energy has its gift to offer. So even something that's rather challenging, like Saturn in Aries, opposite Saturn in Libra, has its gifts that nothing else could offer, not even Saturn in Libra. So, in any case, it's a very Saturn and Libra statement to say everything is equal, everyone is balanced. This is an excellent energy, but it makes it no less challenging. Saturn is teaching us. It is the great restrictor. It it helps us. It forces us to focus on certain things in our life and to grow in that sphere of life. In the case of Saturn and Libra, one of those things, probably one of the biggest things, is relationships. And damn, it's fascinating for me. Again, with all the similarities of Saturn and Libra, Saturn in the house of Libra. It's fascinating for me, and also very frustrating, personally for me, how easy relationships are for some other people. How some people fall into them and fall out of them so easily. Like it's just a regular part of their life. I I very much am not like that at all. I mean, I love making friends. I love meeting new people, but as per like real intimate serious relationships, um it just doesn't function like that for me. And it's a good thing. It really is. It's challenging, and I really I empathize with this placement, because it can be challenging, that double need. At the same time, the need to have only serious relationships, have only relationships that are very much. Um, I mean, it's Saturn. It's karma. To have Saturn in Libra, and Libra is the relationship energy, that region of space. It's very much all about harmonizing and having people come together and work together. Come together, name of a song by a Libra, John Lennon. Um, to have Saturn in that region of space is requiring all of this heaviness in relationships, and that also promotes a lot of loneliness, and it's very challenging to be so serious about relationships and to push away and push aside shallow ones or stuff that doesn't really serve you, because quick digression, Saturn and Libra, we're interested in relationships. Hell, I mean, you could say that's all we're interested in, is a serious relationship that means something, that is fateful, that is helping us karmically, that is helping us correct past life stuff, to resolve past life stuff, to make this life harmonious, to make it beautiful. Saturn is a planet of karma, and where we've, fucked up in last lives, and this life we're meant to fix, wherever Saturn is. And for us, being it's so tied up with relationships, we very much are interested in relationships, but we get very frustrated because there is a lot of, there are people out there who don't have Saturn and Libra, and who aren't meant to have serious relationships that are, so big and so important, in the sense of our soul. It doesn't make our relationships any better than anyone else's. It just makes our relationships very very deep, very transformative, and yeah. But of course, when we don't find that relationship that's very deep and transformative, we're meant to. That's the thing about this energy. So I should, say the nice resolution, the happy ending first, is we are meant to find that relationship. We are seriously built for relationships, which is so ironic because it feels like the exact opposite, huh? Considering how much seriousness we put on relationships, that some people are like, what the, they have no idea how to handle it, because that's just not, that's not what they're meant to figure out in this life. Saturn's very heavy energy. Or if we're shunning relationships because we know it's not going to help us develop as a soul, it's not going to help us learn what we need to learn, and really find our true purpose here on life, in this life, here on Earth. It can very much feel like we're just doomed to not have relationships. But that's how Saturn is. When we're younger, it challenges us. It very much restricts us. And it gets easier with time. And with Saturn and Libra, it's very important to let time work its magic. My biggest challenge in this life has certainly been relationships, and certainly been longing for that one soul, that one woman that would help me move forward. And see, that's it's very important with us, with Saturn and Libra, to figure out how to move forward on our own, to not rely on other people, to not base our happiness and base our soul growth and our karmic growth off of another person being there. It doesn't work. It creates all these weird complexes of control. Saturn is very much about control, and with us, and in my experiences, we really have to work on not trying to control our partners. We have to really work on not trying to make the relationship something that it's not. And the beautiful thing is, when you find the right person, that control issue tends to fall away, because you're not trying to, add that serious karmic growth to it. The natural relationship is karmic growth. So, patience. That is the most important thing with this energy, is patience. Because you will find that right person. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of circumstances. The right... you can go off of willpower all you wish, and you can be, okay, I'm going to make this happen, but really you can't force it. And if anything, that's the control aspect of Saturn and Libra, of trying to order it. And we're so desperate for moving forward in our karmic growth that we try and control other people. At least that's been my experiences, and it makes a lot of sense for this energy. And it's not a pretty sight. It's not good. It's better just to let it happen naturally, and to be present in the relationship, and not to be cold and distant and, pushing it away, which is a challenge for us too. Just because of vulnerabilities, and fears. Saturn is very much linked up with fears, because again, when we're younger, we don't really understand that restriction. We don't understand that seriousness. We're just light, playful little beings. And again, Saturn takes time to develop and to see the beauty in the restriction and to see the reward in the restriction. To get the wisdom and the maturity that comes with time and just living through experiences and living through challenges. And so when younger, it can be very scary. For me, this manifested as my parents divorcing, and I'm very connected to both my parents. Even living so many miles away in Reno, I can feel their emotions. I'm a very watery person. Moon in Cancer, House of Pisces. That's very watery, and that was really tough. And I think for me, I was ingrained when I was really young to see relationships as a horrible thing, as to just see the restrictive side, and it really scared me, and it really taught me whether this was right or wrong. It taught me. Well, no, it was how to put it. The fear was wrong. Fear of relationships. It's not good to fear. Fear is a horrible, perversion of our lens. Perversion of our perspective. It turns love into hate and all sorts of negative stuff. So the fear was important for me to let go, and I feel like I finally have. Honestly, it's taken me a long time, and I still have more work to go, but I feel like I finally, grown with Saturn. I've appreciated it and what it has to offer. But I definitely learned from a young age that relationships are very serious, and they have potentially devastating impact. And why, thus, it's so important to be in a relationship with somebody who's really right for you. And again, that's the beautiful part about this placement, is that seriousness is a very beautiful thing, especially in this day and age, where it's, don't get me wrong, it's totally awesome that people can go and have sex with as many people as they want and have all these crazy different relationships. That's awesome. Like, my dad, it's so funny how me and my dad are so different, because my dad is definitely, enjoying all of that, the sexual freedom that is in this current day and age, and that will just grow, which is a beautiful thing. And then there's me. I'm totally at peace because of this energy, and because I know how much it has to teach me, and how much it's already taught me, and how seriously I take relationships. I have absolutely no shame in saying that, I still haven't had sex in this life. And, which is so funny, because in American society, it's so, like, taboo. You're a boy and you haven't had sex? And, I'm 22, going on 23. And, I actually see it, and I always have, really, as a beautiful thing. And being able to articulate it with Saturn and Libra is because I take relationships so seriously, I really do, and it's a beautiful, beautiful gift to be able to really treasure companionship so much. And not that anybody who else is having sex and whatever else, it's I that's totally their path. I'm not here to say, oh, I'm high in my... No, that would be a ridiculous approach. But I really do appreciate this energy in my life, and the seriousness that it gives to relationships, and not just romantic relationships, but all relationships, really. The friendships I have are lasting. They're incredible. They just have such a solid foundation. And I find also that most of my close friends are very Saturnian people, which is a whole other thing of... Is that more Saturn in the House of Libra or Saturn in Libra? That might be more Saturn in the House of Libra. But in any case, it is relationships that we're talking about here and with Saturn. So I would imagine that being even just Saturn and Libra, I'd love to hear if most of your friendships or relationships are with, Capricorn or Aquarian people. Not just sun sign, but moon sign, rising, Mercury, whatever. I'd really love your perspective on that, because I don't know if that would be like just Saturn in the House of or Saturn in Libra. I don't know. But I'd love to hear your perspective. Oh man, this is so. To sum up, before we move on to the next part of what this energy is, it's a tough energy when relationships are charged with such seriousness, with such growth. When you're really uniting with somebody because it's better for both of your souls. Not necessarily easy, but it's better, and there's stability, and there's a foundation that you find in each other. It's a very beautiful thing. When you have Saturn and Libra, you gotta have somebody who's very solid and very practical, and somebody who is gonna be there. Somebody who is gonna grow alongside you. Even if you're not in the same place. So you'll find it. It's inevitable, really. The universe provides a need, and then it provides a solution. You just got to be patient with it, and it can be really challenging. And I really do empathize. Those moments of loneliness are killer. And those moments of, am I ever going to find that person? Am I ever gonna be able to make this bond that I know, although I can make progress on my own, and that's enough, I know that when I finally do find that bond, it's going to just propel me into learning, into soul growth and purpose here on Earth. It's a challenging energy, but that's what Saturn is. It's challenging. It challenges us to grow. So, instead of focusing on the romantic thing, focus on yourself. Focus on what you can do. Focus on what you already have, your friendships, your relationships already, and treasure them, and see how they help you grow, and how they build on past lives, and how it's going to build in, future lives. Whether you're on Earth or wherever. It's beautiful to have relationships that really last. So one of the really cool sides to this energy is that because it's exalted and whatnot, and Saturn is the planet of of time, of space, of reality, of karma and whatnot. Libra's a beautiful energy to express these things, and it gives a lot of wisdom. It gives a lot of maturity. It really does. And all Saturn signs do, yada yada yada. Every sign is equal. It's true. But to have Saturn in a easier sign, and in a nicely flowing sign like Libra, for example, is really nice, because it adds great judgment. It adds great. It's just add discipline, Saturn, to Libra, which is justice, egalitarianism, social justice, equality, and you have somebody who's very much a mediator between people, very able to spot what really matters in life, and to be excellent at international affairs, be excellent at, because hell, international relations are just relationships between countries, which is just huge groups of people. And so Saturn and Libra is just so very suited with that disciplined approach to relationships, to understanding that countries are just people too, and they have different interactions. They have different perspectives, and they have different they're just different. And that's a very important, beautiful gift for those with Saturn and Libra to give to the world, is their understanding of people's differences and their ability to mediate. Saturn and Libra won't jump in to mediation like a Venus and Libra, for example, would, but that's one of our gifts too with this energy, is because we're so serious about our mediation that we can do it in serious scenarios, such as being a UN diplomat or whatever. Again, even just on the daily one-to-one scale, it's an incredible tool to keep relationships balanced, to keep them nice, harmonious, and helpful for both people, mutually positive and beneficial, healthy, loving, But especially at the world stage, this is one of the most amazing international affairs energies. And this also, not just international affairs, but judges and and lawyers, anybody involved in social justice, nonprofits, charity organizations. This is an incredible gift. It really is. And again, that maturity, it comes out in just the ability to truly make the world a more balanced place. Libra, to make it more fair, more honest, more just nice and harmonious. So Saturn is that planet of restriction, and if you're feeling restriction in your life, you'll feel it physically. Saturn forms our bone structure, it forms our form here on Earth. And in the case of Saturn and Libra, you'll feel that restriction in your kidneys, especially in lower back. So if you're having some kidney problems or lower back, it's a good sign to kind of figure out what in your life is out of balance. Whether it's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, it's really important to find that balance, And your kidneys will teach you so much, as will your lower back. And as will your mind. Libra's an intellectual sign. So if you feel that out of whack, you're just like, I cannot figure out what side's up, where's balance, It's a good sign to evaluate some stuff, figure out some stuff, to weigh the pros and cons of things, and to figure out how to maintain and reestablish that equilibrium. I think that's everything I have to say. So, on that note, I wish you the best of luck with your challenges, your lessons with this energy, and you'll get through it. You'll find the right person, and you'll be all the better for it. But you were perfect exactly how you were before, so you don't need anyone else to establish who you are. You don't need anyone else to be happy, and to make the world a more balanced, more loving place. Just be you. And that'll bring everything else into line, ironically. So, namaste. One last thing. And it's totally cool to be super serious about relationships. I've only been in one serious relationship for like 3 months back in like 5 years ago, and I'm totally cool with it. It's fate in relationships. So embrace that. Other people won't necessarily get that. Probably get flack from it, especially if you're a guy, which is so ridiculous. But it's who you are, and it's how you grow in this life. It's what you were meant to learn, and how you were meant to progress and evolve. As a soul. Just accept it.